living in a 30-foot travel trailer with 4 people and a dog can be overwhelming sometimes, especially if you're not organized and you're gonna start losing your mind. So today I want to talk to you about how we organize our RV, how do we live in this full time, and give you some tips and tricks that might help you. So let's go.
Hi, I'm Kristen, and this is Jody. With our kids Rylan and Tegan, we made the decision to live life differently, to prioritize the things that made us come alive.
Nice, buddy!
So we pulled our kids out of school and reinvented the idea of what school is.
I can't touch that. It freaks me out.
And we chose a life of travel, where we learn, we work, and we adventure. So subscribe below and come join us.
Okay, so I kind of came up with 5 ideas on how we organize this space and all live in it. So I want to share those with you today. So let's start with number 1. Keep things off the ground. I know that sounds simple, but you have a very, very small walking space and living space, and so keeping stuff up off the ground and utilizing other ways to organize the things that end up on the ground is super, super helpful. One of my favorite things that I use is command strips. Command strip hooks, command strip containers, command strip everything. I'm not even kidding. I love command strip. So they make all kinds of containers that actually just attach to the walls. I'm really not about drilling into thin board walls for it just to kind of like fall back out. So command strip makes really great options. One thing I did find with command strip though is that get the command strip bathroom strips, because RVs kind of like can heat and cool and moisture and all of that. The bathroom ones I find really attach the best to anything. So even if you get a hook that maybe isn't a bathroom hook, you can buy the bathroom command strip pieces and use those bathroom strips instead of using the regular ones. Trust me, you're gonna really be grateful that I gave you that tip. One of the areas that is the hardest for me to keep things up off the floor is the entryway. So in our entryway, I actually just put in a Tupperware drawer, and I put in more command hooks and other containers so that when they get in the door, you know, the explosion of shoes, jackets, hats, sunglasses, they all have a place to go. One of my favorite command strip things that I bought actually was just this wire rack. It actually fits our water bottles, it can fit sunscreen. It's a really great tool there. Not only do you want to keep things kind of off the ground too, is even in the sinks and in our bathroom, I keep things off of the ground. And the reason why is because that way I can spray and clean underneath them really easily. So I found these really neat baskets. I just bought these hooks and hook them right into the shower, and it keeps the shampoo bottles up off the ground and the kitchen sink. It keeps the other things organized as well, and it's really easy to clean around and get around that spaces on the ground as well. My number 2 tip is to use your wall space. There is lots of available space for storage even on your walls. Again, command strips are my favorite, but I've found some other things that I put on my walls as well. One is these hooks. I know they're command strip hooks again, but they actually snap on my brooms and my mops, and I can store those right on the wall and out of the way. And then my other favorite thing that I've attached to the walls is this knife magnetic strip. The knives just stick right onto there, and they don't move while we're traveling days. They actually stay all on there, and it's a really, really great use. This silly contraption right here, Jody thought I was a genius for inventing. Mostly it's for fruit, actually for my bananas. I like to have fruit readily available for my kids to grab and go. I didn't really like any of the fruit baskets that I was finding, so I just grabbed the Tupperware container, but my bananas sitting on top of that was just getting kind of cluttery. I have this really weird spice rack up here, so what I did is I took 2 carabiners and some string. Let me show you how this works, because again, genius. And I made little loops in the string like that. They feed right through my bananas. I know, just like that. So I can actually just hook my bananas right up here, and they're kind of hanging up off of the counter, out of the way, and I don't have bruised and gushed up bananas. I do have to say, you need to remove those on travel days because they will bash their little banana brains out if you left them. Tip number 3, I would say find containers that really fit your space. Some of my favorite places to buy containers is IKEA or Walmart. The Dollar Tree has great containers, and it's just a really easy way to keep yourself nice and organized. So here's some of my favorite containers in our RV. I actually bought these at Costco. They have a lid and they snap on, and they're bigger than a shoebox, but they're small enough and stackable. I label lots of them to organize the kids' toys. This is my cleaning supplies. I also have removed the lids off of them and use them in my closet for clothing, things like that. They're really great. So sometimes if you think about getting containers, think about getting lids and making sure that they're stackable and easy to kind of access as well. All right, in our bedroom, actually, we have these really nice kind of side tables, but they kind of go all the way back and are deep. And I'm not gonna really use or be able to use that space all the way shoved into the back. So I found these really great containers at IKEA that were shallow. They actually do come with a lid on them too. And I could put all kinds of bedside things like my glasses or flashlight, extra sunglasses, things like that I can just stick stuff in there, and then it slides all the way back there, which is really awesome and a really easy storage thing. Okay, so my kids' bunks don't have awesome storage. They're just beds. And so I originally even tried to fit like some of their clothing and stuff in bins, and it was just crowding out their space. But what I have found is that they need something to be able to put their stuff in. So, right, they're collecting like sticks, rocks, acorns, and everything else. So I was tired of that just kind of filtering into the camper and not having a place to put it. So for the random feathers, rocks, sticks, and everything that they found, I actually built these. So this is a soft storage bin that I got from IKEA. It actually zips shut, which is super awesome when you're traveling. I reinforced it with like these wooden dowels on all 4 corners and in the center, and then I actually just found a dish rack and I put that in, and I've made my own little cubbies. I found these super cool little baskets from IKEA that can slide right into there, so they can put all their special whatevers inside their cubby. We can zip it up, and they're small enough where they just fit on their bed, and it's a really great storage option to again allow them to collect all the crap that they need to collect in this life and have somewhere to put it. Okay, tip number 4 is to rethink the storage spaces that are already provided in the camper. Sometimes these are even empty like boxes or things that you can actually like cut into. We have a Lance trailer. I think they do a really great job of offering wonderful little areas where there's storage. There's really not very many empty spaces that I can cut into and like get to empty space. They've really maximized it really well in the Lances. But what I do have to say is that some of the spaces that they provide aren't really maximizing what is there. So this closet, for example, it had a shelf on top, it had a clothing rack down below, it had a random like tilted shoe rack down on the bottom, and the rest was really empty space, and it was just not useful for us. So we kind of removed all of that, and we built our own standalone shelves inside the closet. I needed it for my kids' clothes because I have nowhere in their bunk areas to store that. So now I store all their clothing. I can store our extra jackets. I have my laundry in here. I have extra towels, sheets, backpacks, all kinds of stuff can now store into this closet space. Right next to our beds, and I've seen this in lots of RVs too, is there's these like small closet storage. Awesome. But again, it just had like a clothing rack in there, and all this vertical space was not going to be used because I wasn't going to just hang up clothes in there. So what I actually did is I found these wire shelving units. They were like 4 shelving high. We cut them down and they fit right in there. Now I can use other Tupperwares and organizers to organize all of my clothes in here. all I have for clothing is in this small closet and then this drawer down here, and that's it. And so I really try to maximize that little bit of space to store all of our clothes. So I have one on this side, and Jody has one on that side, and then we use the closet, the larger closet, for all the kids' clothes. Tip number 5, bring as little as you possibly can. I know that sounds funny. When we first headed out, I literally brought like the entire bathroom sink from my house, and I tried to fit it all in this RV. And by the end, I was kind of setting aside all the things that I planned on getting rid of that I really didn't need. I think every single trip I end up bringing stuff that I really don't need. So each trip is a journey of kind of getting rid of things and what do I need and what do I not need. What I have found is planning for around 7 to 10 days worth of clothing per person is pretty good, because I'm going to get to a laundromat between that time. The hard part is sometimes we're in the mountains of Colorado and the next week we're down at the ocean in California. So because of this, we are trying to pack clothing for like every season. But again, maximizing that storage space to really think about, okay, let's put these warm clothes away. We can take these summer clothes out. Whatever that looks like for you, you can kind of utilize that. But 7 to 10 days is pretty good as far as clothing organization. The other thing I tried to bring tons of was my kids' toys. I've found that when we're on the road, they're really playing outside a ton. The only time we're really in need of an activity like that is when it's like raining, kind of gloomy out, and we're kind of stuck inside. And my kids, particularly, I brought their Nintendo Switch, Legos, and Magnet Tiles, and really that's all that they ever need. We can do schoolwork, we have things to color with, and stuff like that we can also do. But they really need way less toys than I ever expected, because outside is their playground. The other thing I'm learning to do is kind of thinking about what I can still get on the road. We use Amazon Prime a lot to mail certain things that we need, and there's Walmarts and Targets and Costco's and everything else out on the road. So we try not to bring excess of anything that we can possibly buy when we're already out there. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button below. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I would really love to hear what sort of things you have that you do to organize your small space. I'm always looking for new ideas. So thank you so much. I'll see you soon.